don't drown the babies. Force feeding is so 1980s. Friends, bosom buddies, today's video is a PSA, a message from all the babies out there to please stop force feeding them. It's not cool. We know that milk flows from the breast in a very specific way. If you have not seen our letdown video that explains this in more detail, we're gonna link it up somewhere here for you to go ahead and have a look. But basically, milk flows in a start and stop process from the breast. It gives babies a chance to eat slowly so they don't, drown or overdo it. Babies are biologically programmed to eat the way the breast is biologically programmed to feed them. So bottle feed like a boob. Why this method is important. If you already know why this method is important, you are welcome to skip ahead. The timestamp for the actual demonstration is in the show notes below. But if you don't know, let's chat. The first and most applicable, perhaps, reason is as a breastfeeding person, I want to make sure that my baby can come back to the breast. Yeah, nipple confusion, maybe. I actually think, and most people might agree, that it's not that babies get confused by the type of nipple, it's that they get confused because the milk flows so quickly from the bottle and not that quickly from the breast. If babies are fed too quickly from the bottle and don't have to do any work, it stands to reason that they might then struggle at the breast when we're asking them to step it up and help us out. Secondly, overfeeding is kind of a big problem. We know that overfeeding in infancy can lead to things like obesity and then diabetes and heart disease and all the fun stuff that comes with that. But in a very acute way, overfeeding actually might increase the risk of SIDS because it decreases the baby's ability to wake up and let you know they need them. Not ideal, so we want to make sure that we're not overdoing it. Thirdly, it's a waste of milk. Whether you spent 30 minutes pumping your own breast to get the milk out or are spending exorbitant amounts of money on formula, no one wants to waste it. If we slow babies down, they get to know their hunger cues and their fullness cues, and they'll stop when they're done instead of chugging, because either they don't know they're full yet or they don't have a choice because of the way they're being held. Finally, old school bottle feeding kind of shuts down communication. It means that anytime a baby makes a sound, we assume they're starving, shove a bottle in their face, and they chug so that they don't choke until there's no milk left, and then they go into a food coma and shush. It's very likely that your baby might have been trying to tell you something else, or that the carer who is watching your baby while you're not with them doesn't really know what else to look for. Either way, old school bottle feeding, it's time to go. This method is important regardless of what's in the bottle. If you are exclusively pumping and your baby is only being fed your expressed breast milk, if you are doing a combination of breastfeeding, breast milk in bottles, formula in bottles, or even if your only plan was to formula feed, you need to know how to safely and responsibly bottle feed your baby. So here's how you do it. The first step to bottle feeding your baby is to hold them upright. None of us can swallow safely while lying on our backs, so we want to make sure that baby is seated in a more upright position so that they can drink and breathe all at the same time. You could see our baby was not particularly cooperative at the beginning here. So we bounced, we shushed, we patted, we took a break, we gave her a chance to get settled. God, she's so cute. Once she was ready, we got her back in that upright position and used the nipple of the bottle to tickle her lip to encourage her to latch. When she began to suckle, we lift the bottle up till milk is half filling the nipple, allow her to drink, and when she pauses, we lower the bottle. When she starts to suck again, up goes the bottle, half filling the nipple, and down again when she takes a break. The entire point of this feeding method is to take our time and to allow our baby to set the pace. Tip up when she starts to suck, and tip back down when she takes a break. It is normal for this process to take slightly longer than traditional bottle feeding. We expect it to be about 5 minutes per ounce, and it's another great reason to offer smaller quantities. You can always add more milk to a feed, but once your baby's mouth has been on that nipple, the countdown starts and you've only got a certain amount of time to finish the milk in that bottle. And finally, when your baby is finished, you end the feed. When she arches, grimaces, lets milk spill out of her mouth, actively tries to turn away from the bottle, or plays possum, that means the feed is done and we don't force it. Now, I can hear all of the grandmas and the aunties and all the metiches in your life coming in and saying, oh, wait a minute, but the baby is gonna swallow more air. All you really have to do is think about the difference of what it feels like for you to sip from your water bottle, leisurely, comfortably, relaxed, versus forcefully chugging your way through the water bottle, not giving yourself a chance to slow down. How much more air ends up stuck in you then? So there goes that myth. Knock it off, abuelitas. Responsive bottle feeding is key. It's extremely important until your baby is physically able to hold the bottle and feed themselves. Not be propped with it on their body, but actually physically lift it to drink and lower it when they're done. We want to be respectful. It's kind of rude to just shove milk into their face and not give them a chance to take a breath or let you know what they need. Listen to your baby, follow their cue, and if you feel in your gut that something is wrong, reach out, y'all, get some help. You can even email me. My information's in the show notes. And now, how to choose the best bottle to feed your baby with. We're going to want to look at 4 categories when we are picking a bottle. The first is nipple shape. Breast-like bottle nipples have been all the rage for the last decade or so, with the assumption being that if we make a bottle nipple that looks like a breast nipple, the baby will have an easier time going back and forth from boob to bottle. Flawed logic, as it turns out, a breast at work inside the baby's mouth does not look or act the same as a breast that is hanging out on the beach having a margarita. What we're actually looking for is a longer, more narrow nipple, a triangular shape with a more graduated shift from the skinny top to the wider base. We are next going to look at the flow rate. We want to make sure that we use a slow or newborn flow size 1 nipple as long as possible. Next, we want to pay attention to the shape of the bottle. Thin is in for ease. When we're doing responsive bottle feeding, we need to be able to lift and lower the bottle pretty frequently. And if you've got a big, fat, wide bottle, it's going to be a lot harder to do. We also don't want to have to tip the bottle up into the baby's face to get all the milk out. And in a fatter bottle, it will pool on the bottom and you'll have no choice about doing that. Finally, we're going to look at the materials. This is a personal preference, but glass is best. It doesn't leach, it doesn't make the milk smell bad, it is better on the environment, easier to clean, lasts forever. When in doubt, a glass bottle is the way to go. Now here are a few of my favorite bottle options for your baby. Glass Dr. Brown's classic bottle is a fantastic option. Lancino makes a wonderful option as well. You can see the nice wide triangle mountain nipple. And Even Flow now makes a couple of different bottle nipples that are pretty fantastic. Here's what you're going to avoid like the plague. Anything with a skinny nipple tip and a fat base that has a dramatic change from one to the next. Weird ridging, weird shapes, avoid them. They're not going to help your baby eat or get back to the breast. Please keep in mind that babies suck. They suck a lot. Video explaining that, linked somewhere above. And they're going to probably want to continue to suck even when they are done feeding. So if your baby has drunk their bottle and has told you very clearly, I'm done with milk, and continues to show signs of wanting to suck, just doing all of that, a pacifier can help them meet the other needs that sucking meets for them without all the milk in the way. Babies at the breast can suck in a specific way to trigger more milk to flow, or not. But with the bottle, they don't really have that kind of control. It's going to be important for you to at least offer your baby a pacifier after bottle feed so that we continue to eliminate the risk of overfeeding. Pacifier video coming. I'll link it in the show notes once it's done. Please do the YouTube things, the likes, the subscribes, the notification bells. It helps keep me going and it makes sure that this information gets everywhere to all of the people that need it, and that seems to be everyone. Let me know what you think about this method, what challenges you've had, if you've liked using it, if you have any questions down below in the comments, and we can keep this conversation going. As always, if anything changes, I will update the information. For now, this is best practice for feeding your baby. Thanks for the memories!